My name is Jason Calloway. I'm the cellist of the Amernet String Quartet and a native of Philadelphia. I earned my bachelor's degree at Juilliard and a master's at the University of Southern California. And I had the pleasure, firstly, of being roommates with my colleague in the Amernet, violist Michael Klotz, at Juilliard. And we'd actually met on the very first day at the first rehearsal break of the New York String Orchestra Seminar in December 1997. And the rest, as they say, is history. Meanwhile, we came together with Misha later at Juilliard and our final member, Franz, recently. And it's just a pleasure to be here with my colleagues and on the faculty at FIU.
My name is Misha Vinson. I am the first violinist of the Amernet String Quartet. I am the native of Tashkent, Uzbekistan, which I always like, in various outreaches that we do as a quartet, I always like to ask the kids if they knew where that area is, stumble them a little bit. I have immigrated with my parents to Israel at the age of 11. Both of my parents violinists, so it was just a matter of time for me to start doing the same. My father was my first teacher. I have studied with various people in Israel, last of whom was the concertmaster of Israel Philharmonic for about 27 years, Chaim Taub. I have arrived in Boca Raton, Florida in '96, went into early retirement. At the time, Harrod Conservatory, which is now Lynn University, where I got my bachelor's with Sergio Schwartz, a wonderful violinist who now teaches at the Schwab School of Music in Georgia. After receiving the bachelor's from the Harrod Conservatory, I went for my master's at the Juilliard School. There I studied with Ms. DeLay my first year, and then after her untimely demise, unfortunately, I switched to the studio of Joel Smirnoff. As Jason has mentioned, I have met him and Michael there. We played in a ad hoc string quartet that Joel Smirnoff actually coached. So, now here we are.
My name is Franz Falco. I'm the second violinist of the Amernet String Quartet. I was born and raised in Juneau, Alaska, and I did my undergrad at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and eventually moved to Florida, where I studied at the Lynn University Conservatory of Music, where I studied with the great violinist Elmar Oliveira. About a year ago, I got a call from a mutual friend of Michael Klotz, the violist of the Amernet, who said, hey, he just called me, the Amernet is looking for a second violinist, can I give him your number? I said, absolutely. So Mike called me on a Friday. He said, hey, can you come in on Monday and read with us? And I came in Monday, we read a couple things, and they said, sure, yeah, we're going to have you. For about a year, and a few months in, as we were playing more and more together, they said, you're good. And so now I'm happy to say that I'm working at FIU as a adjunct faculty right now, and love playing with the Amernet.
My name is Michael Klotz, and I'm from Rochester, New York. I attended the Eastman School of Music from the age of about 8 until 22, having graduated from what was then called the Community Educational Division, and then I received my undergrad degree there in violin performance, as well as their coveted performer certificate. And my teacher was a very distinguished violinist and pedagogue named Zvi Zeitlin, who remains my eternal guiding musical force to this day. After Eastman, I attended Juilliard, and I received a double master's degree in violin and viola, studying with violin with Louis Kaplan, who was the founder of the Bowdoin International Music Festival in Maine, and Toby Apple, who remains my only viola teacher to this day. I really love playing chamber music, and I feel very fortunate to be able to dedicate the majority of my performing career to playing in a string quartet, especially with two of my oldest and dearest friends, Misha Vinson and Jason Calloway, both of whom were classmates of mine at Juilliard. And as Jason mentioned, we were roommates as well on 57th Street. And with the Amernet, we enjoy a wonderful residency at Florida International University and spend a great deal of time here in Miami Beach at the Miami Beach Urban Studios, which has become our sort of home, and that many wonderful creative activities are happening here.